What's up, my lock loves? Welcome back to my channel. And if you are new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can be a part of the lock love crew. All right, let's go ahead and get into the topic of the day. Now this topic annoys me just a little bit for a few reasons. One, I feel like it's a very simple search. If you really try to research it, it's very simple and easy to figure out the difference between micro locks and sister locks. But for some reason, it's this whole issue on what is the difference between the two. Also, I get annoyed because people are purposely misinforming those that are asking. Like, let's say you see a lady in the middle of the street and her hair is gorgeous and she has very small locks, and you ask her, what does she have? And she says sister locks, but in fact she has micro locks. That annoys me. Now, most people probably do that because they don't feel like explaining the difference between the two, but that is just spreading misinformation. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give it to y'all simple and straight on what's the difference between the two and which one is better for you. Now, understand, when we get to the part of which one is better for you, just know it is strictly preferences, all right? Let's go ahead and get into the difference between the two. Girl, let's go ahead and break down this diagram I'm finna put up here. First things first, micro locks are just locks that are smaller than traditional locks. First, that's the first thing, okay? Sister locks are a form of micro locks. All right? We're going to get into it. All right. So, like I mentioned, with regular locks, you have wicks, you have freeform, you have traditional locks, and you have micro locks. Those are all locks. There might be another one that I'm forgetting, but those are the most common ones. Underneath micro locks, you have twist locks, you have braid locks, you have interlocks, and you have coils. Yeah, and you have coils. Those are the most popular ways to install micro locks. Under micro locks, let's break down interlocks. So interlocks is just its own form of micro locks, but then you also have sister locks. So sister locks are interlocks under micro locks. I really hope this diagram is helping you. All right. So again, sister locks are just a form of interlocks that are also micro locks. Sister locks, the number one difference is that sister locks are formed by a sister lock technician or consultant who actually paid to learn this method. And so there is a science to sister locks, but they are also just micro locks. It is a very detailed scientific way to do sister locks. So everyone that has micro locks does not have sister locks, but all sister locks are micro locks. All right. All right. Now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and get into the rules of sister locks. So I'm not a certified consultant for sister locks, so my information might be very vague or I might say something wrong. But from my research and also being in sister locks groups, these are the common rules for you to have sister locks. So number one, again, they have to be installed by a sister lock consultant or trainee. Again, these people pay the coin to learn the specific method of interlocking. All right. Sister locks have a very particular grid or parting system, and they take they take your hair type into consideration greatly, okay? They have their own sizing system. They use their own tools, and their interlocking methods is just, I believe is determined by your hair type. All right. To my knowledge, they do the standard 2, 3, or 4 point rotation. But I can't say for sure just because I did not take that class. All right. Also with Sisterlocks, your hair has to be maintained by a Sisterlock consultant or trainee. Now, you also can take a Sisterlock retightening class, but someone has to have a class on how to retighten your locks. And also, you have to follow certain rules, and you have to use certain products and tools with your Sisterlocks. All right. So I don't know if those are 4 things. I don't know if 1 out of the 4, like I know number 1, you have to have it installed by a Sisterlock consultant, but I don't know if those things are out of order. If you don't do one thing, but you do the others, if you still have Sisterlocks, that I don't know. But yeah. Now let's get into Micro Locs a little bit. Micro Locs, like I said before, are installed using twists, coils, braids, and interlocks. Your Micro Locs can be as small as Sisterlocks. Okay? Let me say it again for the people in the back. Your Micro Locs can be as small as Sisterlocks. All right. And I believe Sisterlocks have 3 different sizing, but normally they're typically smaller than those who normally have just regular Micro Locs. But your Micro Locs can be as small as you want it to be. I stress that a lot because in these groups, these Micro Locs groups or lock groups, people are always like, oh, I want my locks to be Sisterlock size. Your locks can be that small with regular Micro Locs. All right. And Micro Locs is just a way to say smaller than traditional locks. All right. I think I got y'all there. I hope I did. Let's just go ahead and get into which is better for you. So I like to think of Micro Locs and Sisterlocks as like school. And Micro Locs is your public school, and Sisterlocks is your private school. And I'm not saying one is better than the other, but there's a distinct difference between the two. So with public school, you know, it ain't that strict. It ain't that strict. It don't cost money. Or it don't cost as much. You know, you have some school stuff you got to pay for. It don't cost as much. There's a variety of different students. As there's a variety of different ways to install Micro Locs. You can DIY your Micro Locs, or you can get them installed by a loctician. It's very lax, okay? And your hair can be parted however way you want it to be parted. It's very lax, like I said. Now, when we come to Sisterlocks, this is your private school. Y'all know how private school got certain rules. They got their uniform. It's very expensive. It's just very cut and dry with Sisterlocks. You have to do this, this, and this. And that's why I compare it to private school. So, which is better for you? If you want your lock journey to be if you want a lot of freedom in your lock journey, if you don't want to have to worry about certain rules, if you want to part it however way, you want to start it however way, if you want your own DIY Micro Locs, get Micro Locs, or, you know, worry about Micro Locs. If you are a person that don't mind paying a lot of money And this is for retightenings as well. You have to pay some coin for the retightenings as well. If you don't mind the rules of using certain shampoos and washing your hair a certain way or using certain products, if you don't care about rules, the money, and if you specifically want the Sisterlock grid, then get Sisterlocks, okay? That's honestly the difference. And again, if you care about your consultant doing things in a scientific way, like your hair texture is this type, so I need to do this thing with it, all right, then you know, you get Sisterlocks. So it's all a preference. Me, I DIY my hair. I have Micro Locs. Period. That's it. That's the end of it. If my hair, oh, one more thing. Your hair can be installed by a Sisterlock consultant, but they can also do Micro Locs. So when you talk to a Sisterlock consultant, you have to tell them you want Sisterlocks. Because if you just say, I want Micro Locs, and they're a Sisterlock consultant, they will just give you Micro Locs. They're not going to really go into detail of your grid and all that good stuff and all the science to it. So, this is a small recap. Sisterlocks are Micro Locs. Micro Locs can be as small as Sisterlocks. Micro Locs can be DIY. They can be done with twists, braids, coils, and interlocks. Sisterlocks only use interlocking, and they have a very specific grid pattern, and you can only get your Sisterlocks installed by Sisterlock certified consultants or trainees. There are Sisterlock consultants and trainees that are not on the Sisterlock website. That is because they did not pay to be on the website. They're still certified. They just did not pay to be on the website. But if you want to make sure that your Sisterlock consultant or trainee is actually a Sisterlock consultant or trainee, go to the Sisterlock website. But that just means they paid to be on the website. So I hope this video helped you all. Drop down below in the comments what you think. If you know any other differences or any more information that I left out, please inform us. Each one, teach one. Let's get this lock education going. See y'all in the next video. Give me a reason, and I'll pretend I'm in control, just like the seasons. You're taking the time from me, but no, I don't believe it. This ain't how